Hey guys, right here from yugioh. Today I have a little discussion about 3 Salamangreat monsters to play now that Lady Debug is limited. So if you haven't heard the news, go check out the new Forbidden Unlimited list. But the important thing to know for the context of this video is that Lady Debug is now at 1. So these are 2 in-archetype replacements for those 2 debugs we lost. And the third one on this list isn't actually a debug replacement, but more of a cheeky tech that you can side to help you win some matches. So without further introduction, let's get right into the list. First of all, we have Salamangreat Mirror, a level 2 Cyber's fire monster, sharing its typing and attribute with the 2 other cards on this list. And with all the Salamangreat monsters out at least at the time of making this video, Mirror has the following effect. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it for your normal draw, you can reveal this card, special summon it from your hand. If this card is in your hand, you can discard one other Salamangreat card, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use each effect of Salamangreat Mirror once per turn. In comparison to other Salamangreat monsters, this card seems lackluster. Its level doesn't help either because you can't make Stalio with it. However, having one Mirror in your main deck can actually mean the difference between being stopped by one hand trap and having to end your turn, and being able to at least continue your plays depending on the rest of your hand. Now that more and more people have started to main Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, the normal summon of Lady Debug has become the most vulnerable play for Salamangreats, which is why some people actually decided to play only 2 debugs on the main deck. And with the recent hit on the ban list, playing Mirror is a way to ensure that your one Lady Debug actually has an impact on the game. While getting hit by Ash, Impermanence or Baylor isn't as impactful, getting Ogred is quite awful because Debug isn't a Salamangreat monster. Therefore it can trigger your Gazelle. However, one single copy of Mirror means you have a follow-up play. Of course, this only applies to when you have Gazelle in hand already, but you would have lost anyway in those instances where you didn't have Gazelle. Also, its second effect can help set up the graveyard, while also providing link fodder. It's just an overall really good card, and I think it deserves a chance. Play only one though. Also, keep in mind that you can special summon it if you return it to your hand with Sunlight Wolf's effect. The second card on this list is the one I have the most doubts about out of the 3. Salamangreat Foxer only has had a couple of regional tops due to its effect that lets you destroy back row at the same time that you recycle a link monster. Its effect reads as follows. If you have 3 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one Salamangreat link monster in your graveyard and 1 card in your opponent's spell and trap zone. Return that targeted monster from the graveyard to the extra deck, and if you do, destroy the targeted card on the field. If a card or cards in your opponent's spell and trap zones are destroyed and sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card in defense position. You can only use 1 Salamangreat Foxer effect per turn and only 1 set turn. So there's actually a lot to unpack on this effect. As I said, it provides back row removal as well as helping you recycle your link monsters. However, the first effect may need a little too much setup. Although I believe that it can be real helpful in more grinding matchups like Sky Strikers and True Dracos, the second effect is the one that I believe would be the most relevant. It helps you plus when you use Twin Twisters and allows you to gain advantage when you activate Foxy's effect. The sum of those 2 effects is what makes this card worth looking at. The third monster is Salamangreat Paro. As I said, this is not a replacement for Debug but actually a side deck option. So Paro's effect reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand in attack position. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 Salamangreat monster in your graveyard, this card's attack becomes that target's. You can tribute this card, gain 2000 life points. You can only use this effect of Salamangreat Paro once per turn. So in case you couldn't tell, I'm interested in the fact that you can gain 2000 life points by just tributing this card. I believe this is a viable option when going into time, and since you only have to commit 1 space in your side deck for this, you might as well try it if you have the 1 slot and get some cheeky wins. And although drawing it can be really awful, if you have a way to get to Will of the Salamangreats, you can special summon this card and it works just as well. And who knows, maybe you will use its first effect, although it's too situational. That's gonna be it for this list. If you are interested in my banlist thoughts, be sure to like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, as well as letting me know in the comments. I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much for making it to the end. Adios.